In lesson 1-7, we will be writing and solving equations using mental math. Now, I know it does say using mental math. However, I'm going to start teaching you the process and how to solve equations. So I would like you to show some work, even though it says mental math right here. Okay, an equation, that again is when we start to have an equal sign. Like, for example, t plus 3 equals 10. Okay, so remember, an expression would have just been like x minus 7. Okay, there's no equal sign, so we call that an expression. Now, in this one, t plus 3 equals 10. Now it has an equal sign, so we can actually figure out what t is. So what plus 3 equals 10? Well, we know that t would equal 7. A solution would be actually the t equals 7. This would be the solution, t equals 7. All right, and to solve an equation is the process of kind of like undoing the problem and working backwards to find what the variable is. And where here it says defining the variable, that's having to do with word problems. We have to say what the variable equals. So like T could stand for tickets. T equals tickets. Or M could stand for the number of months or something like that. So defining the variable is telling us what the variable stands for. All right, so it says solve P minus 14 equals 5 mentally. Now, even though it says mentally, I still need you to copy the original problem now. So you need to copy this. We're going to do P minus 14 equals 5. All right, now, it does say mentally, so go ahead and think to yourself, you know, what would we need to do to be able to find P? Okay, well, we're going to take P, we're going to subtract 14, and we're going to be left with 5. So in order to get the answer, okay, we're going to have to do the opposite of what's happening in the problem. Here we're taking a number, P, subtracting 14. So let's add 14 to both sides. Notice I'm adding it to both sides, and we'll get into that further as to why I'm doing that. Whenever I think about an algebra problem, I think about a big teeter-totter, okay? And right now this side is balanced, and this side is balanced, okay? And if I add 14 over here, this side is going to get really heavy, and it's going to go down. But if I add 14 over here, now it should stay balanced no matter what was on the other side before. If it was level before and I add 14 to both sides, it should still be level. We think of this middle fulcrum point as being the equal sign, okay? And we need to make sure that we continue keeping both sides equal. So that's why I write plus 14 on this side and on this side. Now, what I need to do is I need to bring everything else down. So the P is going to be down here. Minus negative 14 and plus 14, this is going to equal 0. Okay, I'm not going to have anything left. Now I need to bring my equal sign down. And 14 plus 5 would be 19. Okay, so P equals 19. Now we need to check it. Okay, so let's go 19 minus 14, and that does equal 5. So our solution works. So P equals 19 is our solution. All right, so another problem just like that. Let's start the same way. Copy the problem. P minus 6 equals 11. All right, so you have to think, okay, we're going to have a positive number. Okay, we started with this number, P, and we subtracted 6. Well, to find out what this is, we're going to have to take the end result number. We're going to have to add 6. So let's say add 6 to both sides. All right, this part here is going to be 0 because it's like a negative 6 plus 6, which, you know, if you owe $6 and you have $6, really, that's 0. All right, bring your P down, bring your equal sign down, and we do 11 plus 6 is 17, and now we rewrite it, okay? 17 minus 6 equals 11. And you can check that with your calculator if you want. It does work, so we put a check mark there. And then our solution is P equals 17. So back here, you can circle the solution. Okay, the solution would be P equals 19. This is just you checking your answer. All right, this is your solution. This is your actual answer to that question. All right, now we have a word problem, but they do give us the equation inside the word problem. All right, so um, a store sells pumpkins for $2 per pound. Remember, whenever we see per, we think we're multiplying. Paul is $18. Use the equation 2x equals 18 to find how large a pumpkin Paul can buy with $18. So 2 times the number of pounds, so 2x equals $18. It's $2 per pound. So if we find the answer to x, it tells us how big of a pumpkin he can get with his $18. All right, so if we know that 2 times a number is 18, 2 times what? Think of your basic facts. Well, I know that 2 times 9 equals 18, so therefore x must equal 9, okay? Now, there is another way to show the work here, but right now, again, I'm just trying to get you started here thinking mentally. Same thing here. This is the proper way to show the work, okay? But again, if you start to think about this mentally, I need to see this step here so I can see what you're doing mentally. We'll get better and better about practicing how to show the work. But for now, we need to make sure that we're showing what we're doing mentally. So here, 2 minus 9 equals 18. If you can do that in your head, all you need to do is write this part down, okay? A store sells notebooks for $3 each. Stephanie has $15. Use the equation 3x equals 15 to find how many notebooks Stephanie can buy with $15. So here's our equation right there. All right, so we're going to do 3x, 3 times the number of notebooks, and she has $15. So 3 times what equals 15? Well, in order to figure that out, we need to know x. 3 times, if I think about my basic facts, 3 times 5 equals 15. So therefore, x equals 5 notebooks. So that's what she can buy. And we'll go ahead and circle that. Okay, so again, just trying to figure out what those missing numbers are. All right, an adult paid $18.50 for herself and 2 students to see a movie. If the 2 student tickets cost $11 together, what is the cost of an adult ticket? So I have the adult plus $11, because those are your students, and that equals $18.50, okay? So here's the adult ticket. It says an adult paid $18.50 for herself and 2 students. Okay, the 2 students is right there. Okay, that's your $11. We need to figure out what the adult is. So what plus 11 gives us $18.50? Okay, well, I know that if I added 7, I would have $18, but I still have this 50 cents. So it must be $7.50 plus 11 equals $18.50. All right, and then I can do that with a calculator to check it. 750 plus 11, that would be 1850. Good. So A equals $7.50. You can put a unit there because this is a word problem, so we should have units. If we think about back here, 5 should be 5 notebooks because we're dealing with a word problem. And this should have been 9 pounds. And you can write pounds like that, or you can write LBS for abbreviation of your pounds. Okay, so whenever you have a word problem, you should get in the habit of using using a label for your answers. All right, Julie spends $9.50 at the ice cream parlor. She buys a hot fudge sundae for herself and ice cream cones for each of the 3 friends who are with her. Find the cost of Julie's sundae if the ice cream cones together cost $6.30. So I'm going to use S equals the sundae. Okay, if we think about our first slide, it said to define the variable. So we're going to say S equals the sundae. And here, I could put A stands for adult. Okay, and what did I say here? Well, it gave us the equation here, so we didn't have to say it. But here, if you're creating your own equation, you need to get in the habit of defining your variable. I didn't do that the last time. So get in the habit of doing that. S, it stands for sundae. That's what the one we're going to find the cost of. So we're going to take our S, we're going to add the 3 ice cream cones, which is $6.30, and we're going to have $9.50 for a total. Now, you don't need the $sign here because we're not done yet. Now, let's see, okay, what plus 6 would give us 9? Well, if I added $3, that would give us 9. But then I need to go from 30 to 50. So I'm going to put the 3 there. 3 plus 6 is 9. And then 20 plus 30 is 50. So I'm going to say 20 plus 630 equals 950. Okay, and that checks out. So 320 plus 630 equals 950. So that means S equals $3.20. Okay, so that does work. Again, you're supposed to be trying to do these mentally. If you're not able to do that mentally, you could subtract 630 from both sides, kind of like we did before, keeping everything equal. You have to do it from both sides. So that way we can figure out what that S is equal to. Now, in your homework, you're going to have different kinds of problems here. You're going to have not just addition problems, you're going to have some subtraction ones. Like, for example, this one. This is actually number 10 in your homework, so we can kind of look at that. All right, 25 minus n equals 19. All right, and this is just an extra slide, so you can put this anywhere in your notes so you can find a spot for it. All right, now I know before you're like, well, we were subtracting, so then we have to add, right? Well, you have to kind of be wary about that a little bit, okay? This is why for right now, because we don't know a whole lot about all the steps that we have to do for algebra, it's really good to try to do this mentally, okay? 25 minus what is 19? Well, you could try this with a calculator, just do trial and error. You can count it down, okay, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. Okay, so we know it's probably, okay, 25 minus 6 equals 19. And then at the end, just say n equals 6. N doesn't equal negative 6 because this is just subtraction, but n equals 6. Okay, so that's how you would do number 10 for your homework. Let's see, I'm looking at your homework, see if we could find some other ones. Number 17, we have 84 divided by z equals 12. All right, a lot of times I put the line there so we know it's not a 2. All right, now what, 84 divided by what is 12? Well, you might want to try this with a calculator, 84 divided by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just try them out. If you try it, you're going to find that 84 divided by 7 equals 12. So then we can say z equals 7, and that would be our final answer. Okay, so this right here is exactly how I'd want you to show your work. Okay, number 17, this is the original problem. Then we're figuring out what the solution is, and then we're saying what the solution is here by writing it like this. Okay, number 10, this is exactly how you do number 10. If you have both of these in your notes, when you get to those problems in your homework, all you have to do is copy them out of your notes, and you are good to go. All right, and that's our last example for today. So be sure to check the Google Calendar for your homework assignment.